Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
This is the introduction to mastery, which I just taken all the information by going into the training session. In this introduction to mastery module, the main purpose is to give the entire update about the application. Because finally, if you are going into an employee central consultant or the PMGM consult or any of the module consultant under SuccessFactor, you should know how to use the application and what other things which are involved in the application that you should know. That is the basic information. Even when you go into a project or when you are working into a real-time basis, nobody will give you this minor information that we should know. And that is the reason when you are enrolling into your online training session, this will help you for going ahead. Coming into the introduction to mastery, we will start with the overview about the organization. Like Hema is from the web background. She knows like she's been working into the project. Rahul, you will be going into certain opportunity after completing of the success factor. It is very important to know how various organization has been set up in the market, and how we can able to differentiate among the organization. What type of organization there are there? Coming into the ERP system, see we have two type of organizations. One organization is something where they want to implement success factor, or they are looking for implementing success factor for their HR business process. For that, what they will do, they will try to interact or coordinate with the SAP. Or purchasing the license, getting subscribed with SAP for taking this application, that is for SAP SuccessFactor. And after purchasing the license from SAP, once they purchase the license, they will be provided with a server space at the cloud, as this SuccessFactor is a cloud technology. Generally, in SAP HR, what happens? The server is located at the client place, and that is the thing it is we call as it is run on premises. But SuccessFactor is a cloud platform. Whatever the server which is being given by SAP after purchasing the license, that will be located at the cloud. In the cloud, at the cloud level, we call as a data center. There are certain data centers are there, and in these data centers, they will be given a server space. Depending upon the geographical region of your customer of that particular company. Now we are discussing about a company, the first company where the company want to go and implement success factor in their organization. For the business process, they will go ahead and they will interact with SAP, and they will go and purchasing the license, getting subscribed with SAP. After subscribing with SAP, they will be given a server space at a data center depending upon that geographical region. At around on a globally they are around 15 to 14 to 15, that particular data center. And all the environments will be located in that particular data center, and whatever the employee data which will be created. The organization data which will be created and maintained, that will be maintained at that particular data center, and the handling, the maintaining the data, everything will be taken care by the SAP. At any point of time, if they want to access the data, who are the authorized and consultants, they can able to access with the approval from the customer. They can access those data both from the front end system and from the back end system. Now, once they have been provided with the license and once they have been given the server space, the company, they will be having everything for going for the implementation, but they cannot go and do the implementation independently, right? They have to look for the organization who are more into going for the implementation support. For this particular cloud platform, that is for SAP SuccessFactor, the first company who was taken the license, they will try to identify in the market who are the implementation companies. We call it as an implementation SAP partner companies because they will be also. These companies are also associated with the SAP in term of implementation support, more into the consulting role, rollout upgrade, implementation support, all these part, any partner companies are taking care of the partner companies. Where to be, partner companies are nothing but their more. Focus is on giving the customer the consulting services more into the implementation or into the support or into the upgrade or their business process. Now this company will try to identify who are the SAP partner companies who are more into the implementation, and they will try to identify the credential of the company. Once they will identify, they will shortly stand. They will filter. They will interact with the business development team of the SAP partner company. You can take any partner company. We have the partner companies like Accenture, Deloitte, Capgemini, Techminder. These are the SAP partner companies. They are more into the consulting role and their more focus is to the giving the services to the customers. Once the company identify a partner company, the role of a partner company will be to understand what is the requirement of the company. These partner companies, they will set up a meeting. Their what you call sales team will set up a meeting with the first company who is looking into the element who want to implement the success factor in their organization. And these partner companies the sales team will try to set up a meeting to understand what is the requirement. What are the modules they want to go and implement? What are the locations? What are the country, region they want to implement? All these things, they will set up a meeting and what are the skill resources? What are the skill set is required for that particular? They will set up a project and that project, what is the team size which is required? They want to have an on-site team or they want to have an offshore team. Does the customer will provide, that organization will provide the accommodation or not, or does the organization will provide the traveling cost or not? That everything will be decided and it understands that type of the contract. What is the type of the contract they are looking into? These are the discussions which is being carried in the initial phase when the SE partner company, the identity by SAP partner companies and sales team will try to interact with the product owners. I would say with the product owners of the organization or with the key users of the organization where they are more into that particular domain. To know what all is the requirement and how they want to set up this particular application in their organization. And once this meeting is being done, then the partner company will be having a more clarity. What is the team size which is required? They have a clarity that what are the modules they are going for implementation. It is for employee central performance management, compensation, onboarding. What are the modules they are going for implementation? According to those modules, they will try to identify the resources also. In any consulting company, they will look for the resources internally because they will look on if any resources are there on the bench who are available and they can able to conduct internally the interview and they can able to onboard those resources into this new project. If the resources are not available or into that particular skill set, they will tell to the internal recruitment team to identify the resources externally that they want to hire this particular skill set within this timeline and they want to onboard it at earliest. Once the team is being set, once the entire team is being set from the consulting side again, the sales team will be having an interaction with the product team and they will be introducing the entire. They will be going with some slight presentation or they will be having an interaction of the entire team which has been set to the product team. Indeed, these are the resources, these are the consultants, and these are the team. This is the team which will be going for the implementation into this particular project. That is the second piece. Then again, what happened then? These individual consultants, what they used to do, they will interact with they will be having an interaction with the individual product owner, suppose from the employee central employee sample side. Performance management, goal management, they will go with the performance management. Who is a product owner from the company who is taking care for the performance management side? Who is the owner from the compensation side? Like that, they will be having a separate module specific meeting which will be scheduled to understand the requirement into that module specific that to gather the requirement. And two, once they gather the requirement, they can go for start and they can start for the configuration into the system. But before going into the configuration into the system and before setting up the meeting, they also require the accesses. System access they will try to. Other is the VDI we call as a VDI or VPN accesses and everything for the client specific. All these things that customer, the client, will try to arrange all this once the interaction is been done. This is the team which is being going for the implementation. For that, the basic. They will start with creating the email IDs, everything, and they will be creating the accesses. They will be giving the front end accesses coming into the accesses. We know in the architecture that's AP SuccessFactor, having it is divided into two parts, that is a front end system. And we have a back-end system. Front-end system is called as an instance system, and the back-end system is for a service being system. When the meeting and everything is being done, and once now they have to give the accesses and everything, whatever is the front-end system, those front-end system accesses that client can able to provide, but for the back-end access, client cannot able to provide the back-end access customers. Back-end system can only be provided by the SA back-end system is nothing but the provisioning system. If you want to get the access of the customer's back-end system, we have to send a request to the SAP to get the back-end system for getting a access, for sending a request to SAP. There are certain criteria which is involved. One is that we have to request to the customer to share the approval mail. Customer has to share a copy of the approval mail indicating that they are authorizing this consultant for initiating the request for the provisioning. What customer will do? Customer will generate a approval mail indicating that these are the environments for which we are authorizing this consultant to that this consultant can access the or test or organization's back-end system, that is the provisioning system. We understood that the architecture is divided into two parts, that is a front end and back end. Similarly, we also need to understand the various environments which are there in SuccessFactor. We have a development environment, we have a preview environment, and we have a production environment. This development and the preview and the production, all the three environments are located at a single data center. When they are getting subscribed or when they are purchasing the license and when they will be provided with a data center, all the environments will be located in the same data center in each environment, whatever the data is being maintained, that is maintained indirectly in that particular data center. Now coming into the environment development, and the development environment is more into it is policy demo environment where you can able to do all the configuration. The customer is not involved into the development environment. You can do the initial configuration, you can do the testing. If the testing and everything is working successfully, then you can slowly move the configuration into the preview environment. When you are moving into the preview environment, in some organizations, preview environment is also accessible by the product team of the customer. Once you are giving a confirmation that this configuration is being done, then and it is being tested successfully, then the product team from the customer side, David, they have the access and those key users can able to test in that is called as a unit testing, user acceptance testing. That will be done in the preview environment. That is the reason we have another account that is called as a preview instance. Once it is being cleared in the preview, they will give approval that the configuration is done correctly. Now we can move it into the production. According to that, slowly we can move that configuration. Whatever we have done in development and preview, we can move it into the production. Production is the live environment in the real time. Either you are into implementation or into the support. It is a process which goes on. Only difference is that some companies, they go with two accounts, either with a preview and production or with a development and a production, or some companies will go with all the three accounts. It depends upon when they are purchasing the license, when they are purchasing the essence, in that there are certain criteria where they should specify how many accounts they want to purchase the license. Mostly you can see when you are into an SAP SuccessFactor project, you can see it. Development environment, if a preview environment and a production moment, all the environments They have both in the front end system also as well as in the back end system also. When you are accessing an environment, that environment is having both in the front end and back end. But for getting into the back end access, customer cannot give the back end access. Customer can provide you the approval mail for the back end access. When you are requesting customer for the approval mail, we need to request for all the three environments, that is development, preview, and for the production. When you are going with all the three environments, then customer will be providing you the approval mail, and with that approval mail, we have to raise a request to SAP to get the access for the backend system. Now, if I take an example here, you can able to go and see here where you have instances, that is instance development, instance quality. Instance quality means we call as an instance. Quality is also called as a preview. In some organization, quality is nothing but the preview instance development, instance preview, and instance production. Same way you have a provisioning development, provisioning preview, and provisioning production, and each environment will be having a company ID. This company ID will be same for instance development and provisioning development. Similarly, the company ID will be same for instance preview, and for the provisioning preview, the front end system and the back end system will be synchronized to each other. The front end and back end system will be synchronized with you. Whatever changes in the future which we are making in the back end system, same thing will be reflecting in the front end system. Similar case here, also in the preview and into the production. But here in the instance development, instance quality, and instant production, the company ID will not be seen. Instance development company ID would be different. Similarly, instance. In the preview, the company ID will be production. The company ID will be different. And each environment will be having a unique URL. With the help of the URL, you can able to identify which environment you are entering, and you are entering the you are able to access. When you are going into each URL, that URL will be connected with the company ID. And each company ID will be connected with the username and the password. Development, you will be having a separate username, password, preview the same thing, and for the production the same thing. 80 to 90% of the configuration which we are doing, that is in the front end system in the instance. 20 to 30% of work is only involved in a real time when you are accessing the provisioning system. Otherwise, mainly you will be working in the front end system only. Because lot of applications, lot of features of SuccessFactor are available in the front end system, but some features which are not available, we need to enable those features. That is the reason we are going into the back end system. And going into the back end system will only accessible who has the permission to access. For the provisioning permission, we can only get when we are raising a request to the SAP. With approval, me and only certified consultants can able to access the back-end system. That is the provisioning system. Is it clear up to here? Any questions? Any queries from your end? No. Coming here into the data center. As I told you, when they are getting the server space in the data center, there will be also these environments: development, preview, and production. All the environments will be occupied in a particular data center. When they are sending an approval mail, they will be sending a tabular form. Generally in the table there you can able to see for all the three environments. You will be seeing the company ID, company name, data center number also you can able to see, and those details only can able to apply for the provisioning access from the SAP. I will show you in the coming sessions how we can able to apply for the provisioning that is a part of Introduction to Mastery. I will show you the steps. Coming to the URL, I have taken some table here which will specify the URL part. If you can able to see here, you have certain data centers, data center to 4, 8 and 12. These are certain data centers, and every data center will be having some environments. That environments are located in each data center. When you are going with a production URL, there is a common URL, the standard URL you can see for the production, that is a performance manager.successfactor.eu. That is a standard one. When you see a URL that is a performance manager.successfactor.eu, it indicates that you are accessing the production. That is one way you can identify which environment you are accessing. Second thing, for the preview instance, SCM to preview.success sapf.eu. This is the standard URL for the preview. Only thing which you see that differ is the number. Here the number refers that this preview is occupied with which data center. You can see SCM to here SCM for SCM8. It specifies which data center this environment is located. Otherwise, whenever you are going into this URL with SCM preview, it indicate you are into the previous system, preview instance system. Production also. Lot of companies, they keep the development and the production SAP, what they use to keep the development and production both in the same stack. They have some stack and in that stack they will keep both the environments. That is the reason for production and development. You can see the URL, that is performance manager.successfactor.eu. Both is common for production and development, but how you will know that which is the development and which is the production? Again, that can be known with the help of a company, because company ID will be different for the production and for the development. That is one thing. You are the least one thing. The company ID is another thing. And the third part is that when they are configuring the front-end system, there are certain logos are there. Company logos which they are configuring. Suppose you are taking care of a company like Reliance is there. And keeping the company logos in the SuccessFactors system. They will also specify below the company what is the environment they are keeping. If you see Reliance, they will specify Reliance test instance. It will show us it indicate that you are into the previous system in some where it will show that Reliance development. It indicate that you are into the dev system. Similarly, if you are not specifying any name below the logo, it specifies it is a production system. With the help of the logo also, you can identify which environment you are working. The first thing is that with the help of the URL. Second thing is that with the help of the company ID, and third thing with the help of the logo, you can able to identify what is the environment you are working. Is it clear? Any question? These are just basic information as a consultant we should know, because once you get into a project and once you will be only speaking in a functional terms and they're giving the accesses and everything. You should be clear how you are getting the accesses. One more thing, when you are into an implementation part, you will not get the, see if you are into support, already the system is set. Everything is there in place. Only thing is that they have to create a profile in your name in the front end system, and they will share you the link, username, and the password to you for all the three environments: development, review, and for the production. It is the case for the support, because in the support already there is a super admin will be there, and that super admin will create all the details on your behalf and they will share you all the details to you. But if you are into the implementation and you are implementing that product, then first thing is that you have to enter into the provisioning, because you will not have an access for the front end system. How you will get an access for the front end system? For that, you have to first of all get an approval mail. Then after the approval mail, you have to raise a request to the SAP. After raising the request, within 4 to 5 days, they will be sharing a communication mail in your official mail ID with a link. And once you log in with the details into that particular link, you are entering into the provisioning access to that particular environment. When you are raising a request, all the three environments, you need to raise it separately. That is, for the development separately, review separately, and for the production separately. And within 4 to 5 working days, you will be getting the email from SAP. Different emails you will get. For the development, you will get a separate review, you will get a separate, and for the production, you will get a separate. And when you open that email, you find a link will be there. You have to click on that link and you have to specify the username and the password. Now how you will get the username and the password? Just little bit I want to go. Just want to go flashback for getting into the username and the password after completion of the training. Suppose you are doing the training and after completion of the training, you have to appear for your certification. When you are appearing for the certification, at that time you will be applying the certification from the website called training.sap.com. You have to register yourself. If you are already working with a consulting company, you have to request to your internally to get your CH voucher that we call as a certification hub voucher. Once you get a certification hub voucher internally, or if you are not working with SA partner company, then what you need to do, you have to purchase the certification voucher. For purchasing the certification voucher, training.sip.com, you have to do the registration with your personal mail ID. Once you do the registration with your personal mail ID, then what will happen? You will get a communication mail to your personal mail ID and your account will be activated. Once your account is activated, then After going into your account, you have to purchase that particular certification. You have to. You have to do the subscription. Actually, how you are doing it in Amazon or Flipkart, how you are purchasing some product. It is a product. That product you have to purchase, you have to do the subscription. How you are doing for some OTT platforms. Same way you have to purchase that subscription. The validity will be for 1 year. Once you purchase the subscription and it is get activated in that subscription, Certification Hub subscription, you can see all the modules will be there. All the 8 to 9 modules of success sector will be there. We need to select that module to which we are applying for certification. Every module will be having examination code will be there. That examination code we need to select for that module and we have to apply, book your slot. And once you apply and book your slot, and once the examination is completed, you clear the examination, you will be getting a unique ID that is called as a P-user ID. A P-user ID you will be getting. This P-user ID is getting for those who are not associated with an organization. Externally, you are doing the registration from your personal mail ID and you are applying for your examination. You'll be getting a P-user ID after that. When you are getting a P-user ID and you are entering into an organization, when you get a job opportunity, you have to share your P-user ID internally to the organization. That's AP partner company. They will coordinate with AP for creating another unique ID that is called as user ID. That as user ID is the user ID provided by the SAP to the partner company and that will be mapped with your official mail ID. Now you are working with a company called Deloitte or Tatmai, Indira or Wipro. Whatever is your official mail, ID to that official mail, ID that as user, ID will be tagged. And once the S user ID is created, you will be getting automated mail from SAP and you have to reset your password, a one-time password. And once the password is reset, then you have the S user. You have the username as S user, ID and the password which you have reset. That is ready. After doing this, then coming back into the provisioning when you are getting a provisioning access from SAP and once you are clicking on that particular link, then what will happen? They will ask you for the username and the password. That there the username and the password is nothing but this S user ID and the password which you have already received from your partner company with the password you already reset. For all the 3 environments, that is for the development preview and for the production. For the provisioning, you have to mention your user ID and the password to enter into the home page of the back-end system. And once you enter into the home page, into the back-end system, there I will show you the entire process. In the coming sessions, I will show you there. You will be having an option to create admin because you have to get into the front end and you are into implementation side. For as you are the first person who will be entering into the front end system, for getting the front end system going into the back end, there is an option called create admin. We need to go and create. We need that. In that particular section, you have to specify the username, password, first name, last name, and your official mail. ID, all these details you have to specify and you have to submit it. Once you submit it, what will happen? In your Outlook email ID, you will be getting an email indicating the instance you are. You will be getting the instance you are then, and once you click on the URL, it will ask you for the username and the password. And the username and the password is nothing but the username and the password which you have specified in the provisioning access. With that username and the password, you have to enter in the instance URL, and from there you can able to enter into the front end system. And once you enter into the front end system, there will be no configuration. It will The entire application will be blank because we need to do all the things from the scratch onwards. We have to give You have to enable some features in the provisioning, then only it will be reflecting the front end slowly for getting that access in the front end. This is the process. But if a support consultant where already the landscape, environment, everything is being set, it is already created, and now you are going into a support consultant, then what they will do, there will be some super admin. In that case, you don't have to. They will not create from the provisioning, they have the instant access. In the instant only, they will create a profile in your name and they will reset that password, give the necessary permissions, and they will share with the credentials. This is the front end system for the customer's front end system, that is the instant system for all the three environments: development, preview, and for the production. It is a process which goes on a real time. Any questions? Both scenario I just tried to explain to you. One is when you are into implementation side, when you don't have the front access, how to get the front end access and the support consultant in. The second scenario is that you are into support project where already that entire application and entire system is set, and how they are creating a profile in the front end and share with the customer. You are sharing the credentials to me. These are the two different scenarios which can be possibly we will be involved into, either into implementation or support. Any questions here? No. Because why? Because there are certain check is there. When you are into a support project, there you are engagement manager or your service delivery manager. They expect that you should be clear. What are the things you require? These are the basic information you should be clear as a consultant what you require. Even the approval mail also sometimes. What happened? The customer only give for one environment, where you can see the approval mail only for one environment. You can see the company ID and the data center. But what about the other environments? Then you have to send a request to them that this is for development of the preview. But what about the other environment? For that also we require the approval. When you have a clarity on this, then only you can able to put a request to them also. This is the access which is missing. Now I'm just going back into the system. When you are going into the system, this is the front end system, that is the instant system. In the instant system, if it is a development or it is a preview or it is a production, with the help of the URL I told you, you can able to identify, you can able to find which environment you are working. That is one thing. And in the URL only you can see company equal to this is showing a number. It is showing here a company equal to, you can see here in the real time also. This is the company ID which you are seeing here in the real time also. You can see that company ID in the URL. With that company ID, you can see that you are into the development preview or the production, or with the help of the URL also. And here also again, the company ID will be there. Each company ID will be connected with our username and the password. Each company ID will be connected with the username and the password. This username will be mostly with your official mail ID. Suppose you are working with Deloitte or you're working with Wipro or TechMinder. Their official mail ID, with their official mail ID only, they will be creating the username. And they will create a password, but that password can also be reset from your end later on. And once they are sharing the front end system, that is a URL, company ID, and the username and the password, you can able to access it and you can able to log in. You can check for all the three environments and then only you can. You have to confirm to them that I can access all the three environments successfully. Once you enter into this page, this is the SuccessFactor homepage, latest homepage. Earlier, there was an old homepage that has already been deprecated. Deprecated means this already been removed by SAP and they have introduced this new page. In this new page, the first thing is that this is the company logo which you can able to see. Whichever customer you are accessing, that customer's company logo will be there here and below the company logo. Sometimes it specifies it is a test instance. It is a development, or if nothing is there, it specifies the production. Here also you can see with the help of the URL and the company ID, you can able to identify you're into which environment. Company ID, you can find it from the URL also, and also when you go into your profile here. This is the profile. Can you see here right side? You can see the profile here. Once you click on the profile, you can see show version information. When you click on the show version information here, you can see the company ID here. Here also am I going to be in the company. It is a development preview or the production. Apart from the company ID here, into the show version you can see some term is called as a release. We need to understand this part also, that as SAP SuccessFactor. Here we need to times SAP SuccessFactor is coming up with the new releases. New releases means this application which has been set. This act which has been created time to time. SAP always works on this application to give the better improvement, better flexibility of accessing this application both to the customer and to the consultants. For that, there is a separate team which is there from the SAP side, and they are working on in the application time to time. They come up with the releases yearly 2 times. That is first half of the year and the second half of the year. First half of the year is called as 1H. Second half of the year, it is called as a 2H. Second half of the year is called as a 2H. First half, that is called as a 1H. Every year the release is coming in the month of April, May, and the second half it is coming in the month of October. Normal. In this new releases, whatever the changes, whatever the addition, whatever the diligence are coming, because this product is developed by SAP. Whatever changes are coming, that is the standard one. Working on the standard one, they will come up with the changes, and those changes will be updated in the application for all the customers. When those changes are coming, you can see in the show version that the application which you are using, that is the latest one or not. Now it is showing us a B. 2D2 to 11. The last release was in the month of November. Now, for 2022, that is the reason it is showing as a B. 2011 means it indicates that this app, this our system, is also get updated as per the last release. Now, the next release will be coming in the month of May. Once it is been updated, once the release comes, then again this release date will be changed to, you can see 2, 3, or 5 later on. In the coming months. That is the way you can able to see that your application is as per the latest release or not. It indicates that whatever the changes which is done by SAP, that is also updated in your demo system or your development or to the instances, whatever instances which we are using. Is it clear? Then coming into the home page, you have this catechize, or we can call as a section that these are the standard one where you can see the quick actions are there. And you can also, when I scroll down, you can see approvals are there. For you today is there. Organization updates are there. Like this. These are the standard categories. Under the standard categories, you can see these are some small blocks are there. We call as a cards or we call as a tiles. These tiles are also the standard one where you can see my team delegate workflow. You can see the request, time of recognize. All these are the standard one. All these are the standard one which you are seeing. Standard means what it is by default. It is coming with the application. In case if any changes are happening from SAP side, then you can see the same changes will be reflecting here also in the system also. Got. This is the standard one. You have the tiles and you have the cards. That the standard one also as well. As you can all ask for the customer requirement you can. You can also create a custom tiles also. Suppose the customer is having a requirement that they want to create some. As per the business requirement they want to create some custom tiles. We have an option where we can able to go and create the custom tiles also. That is also possible. Here, whatever the things which you are seeing here, this is the standard one, and here the approval section. And for you, this is something, the notification which time to time the user will be getting, either the manager or an employee or an admin. They will be getting the notification in term of the approvals or in term of any contractual employment contract is getting to an end for the user, that also, or if any leave application or anything which is related to the salary approval, anything for the manager or any user, that will be getting updated. Even the birthday alerts are also. We can also get the birthday alerts in the home page here. This is something, the configuration, how it is being done. According to that, the alerts and notification will be reflecting in this particular home page system. Now going ahead, you can see here, this is the global search. You can see here, this is the global search. In this global search. Now we have said that this is the company ID. Every environment, when we have a company ID, that company ID stores the employee data and the organization data. Part of our employee which we are hired in this employee in this company, ID that all employees will be stored in the employee directory. Either it is an active employee or it is an inactive employee. Active employee means what I do. Employee means the employee who is still working in. Active employee means the employee whom we have initiated the termination. It is a terminated any inactive employee or any active employee. Both employees will be stored in the both categories. Both state employee status type will be stored in the employee directory. And when you want to search any employee from the employee directory, this is the global search which you can able to go and use. When I'm just searching with an employee name, I can able to go and search that employee, any employee from here, from the global. Second thing is that for a consultant side, when you want to go and search for any configuration to be in SuccessFactor, we call as a configuration tool. In SAP Java, we call as a transaction codes. Here we are not using any key codes or we are not using any info types. Here we are using configuration tools. Now, if you are accessing the Employee Central module, for Employee Central, whatever the configuration tool, what is the configuration tool? Configuration tool is the tool which helps us to do all the configuration for that particular module. We should be clear which configuration tool is used for doing what configuration. That as a beginner, you cannot able to go directly and search that configuration tool. But if you are into the beginner more than the beginner, into an intermediate level where you can able to search for the configuration, then global search will help you for searching that configuration. That is, if I'm going with manage data, this is one configuration tool, manage data. Or if I'm just going and using manage job, this is another configuration tool. I know the configuration tool. That is the thing I can able to directly type here. That is the flexibility of this particular SuccessFactor application. There is no complexity is involved here. If you don't know the configuration tool, then you can go into that particular module. How you will go into that particular module? Go to the Home tab here. And in the Home tab, first of all, these all tabs which are showing, these are the end user tabs. These tabs are not the consultant or the admin that this types of comment to all end users. Every end user, either it is a manager or it is an employee level, everybody can able to go and see these steps depending upon the permissions. Now here, when you go down, you can see a tab that is called as Admin Center. When you see here the Admin Center tab, this Admin Center tab is the tab which is being accessible by the admins or by the SuccessFactor consultants. This Admin Center will be having all the modules, which all the SuccessFactor modules will be coming under this Admin Center. We can able to search that all modules under this Admin Center. Depending upon the permission, if you have the permission, we will get this Admin Center page and we can click on the Admin Center. Once you click on this Admin Center, then after going into Admin Center, you can see a section called Tools. Once you click on this Tools here you can see all modules. You can see 360 development calibration, company settings, compensation. Most importantly, the employee file and the company settings. Employee file and the company setting. Whatever these hyperlinks are showing here, this is the configuration tools. In the company settings and the employee file you will, it covers mostly this one, what you call employees and then configuration tools. But if you are doing this, elimination of performance and board management, this in Admin Center tool, all these modules which you are seeing, this is stored in the Admin Center and each module will be having the configuration. If, as a beginner, it is always a best practice to navigate from the Home tab to the Admin Center, and from here you can go to the tools, and from the tools, when you click on here, you get into this page, and here you can see all the tabs will be there. As an admin, you can able to access all the modules. But from a customer side, when a key user is there who is only involved into the performance management or only involved into the compensation, they can only access the performance page or the compensation, but they don't have the access to the other configurations. Even they are not involved into the other configuration. Also, configuration part will be taken purely by the admins. Anything which is coming a request from the end user, that will be coming to the product owner, and from the product owner to owner will be redirecting to the consultants, and we as a consultant we have to do it as a support ticket. Got This is just an overview in the first session today. I'm just going up. I'm just holding my session here. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.